Let me paint you a picture of the middle class in 2026. You went to school, you got a job, you worked hard, you did everything they told you to do, and yet, you are paying $2,100 in rent. Your landlord just raised it again. You have nothing to show for the last 5 years of payments, and every time you search homes for sale, the numbers make your stomach drop. $420,000 for a starter home. You need a $130,000 salary to qualify. You make $65,000. So you sign another 1-year lease, and the cycle continues. Here is what nobody is telling you. This is not because you failed. This is not because you did not work hard enough. This is not bad luck. This is by design. There is a $1 trillion system, built by corporations, enabled by law, and maintained by the people who profit from it, specifically engineered to keep the middle class paying rent forever. And today, Dan covers the money side and Lexi covers the legal side as we break down exactly how it works. And more importantly, what you can do about it. The $1 trillion real estate trap, designed to keep the middle class renting forever. Before we get into how it works, let us start with a number that will put everything in perspective. There is $45 trillion worth of real estate in the United States. $45 trillion. And the middle class owns almost none of it. Let us look at why. 3 numbers. Every middle class American needs to sit with these. First, 67%. In 1980, 67% of Americans owned their home. The middle class was the ownership class. A factory worker could buy a house on one income. A teacher could buy a house on one income. A nurse could buy a house on one income. Today, only 43% of millennials own a home. The largest generation in American history is the first generation in modern times expected to be poorer than their parents. And the third number tells you exactly why. 2.3 times. Homes are now 2.3 times more expensive relative to wages than they were in 1990. Wages went up. Home prices went up faster. Much faster. And the gap between them is the exact size of the middle-class wealth trap. The homeownership dream is not dead by accident. The system was deliberately designed to make it this way. Here is the proof. Look at this chart carefully. Both lines start at the same point in 1980, indexed to 100. Both wages and home prices were roughly equal in growth. Then something happened. The gold line, home prices, starts climbing. Slowly at first through the 80s and 90s. Then it accelerates through the 2000s. The 2008 crash knocked it down briefly, but then it exploded upward again. By 2026, home prices have gone from 100 to 580. The blue line, median wages, they went from 100 to 182. Wages grew 82% over 46 years. Home prices grew 480%. That gap between those two lines, that is not just a chart. That is the story of why your parents could afford a house and you cannot. That is the story of why 2 working adults sharing one rental apartment still cannot save enough for a down payment. Your parents did not work harder than you. The system just worked differently then. And someone made a lot of money from that gap. Now here's the calculation the rental industry does not want you to sit down and do. Renting, $2,100 a month. Buying, $2,450 a month. The system tells you renting is cheaper, and on a monthly basis, it is, by $350. But look at what happens over 30 years. A renter pays $756,000 over 30 years. A buyer pays $882,000 over 30 years. The renter paid $126,000 less in total. But here is what each person owns at year 30. The renter owns nothing, 0 equity, 0 asset, 0 wealth. $756,000 paid, nothing to show for it. The buyer owns an asset now worth $1.2 million or more. $420,000 in equity built over 30 years. The wealth gap after 30 years? $420,000 in favor of the buyer. The system made renting look cheaper per month so you would never do the 30-year calculation. That is not an accident. That is financial engineering designed to keep you liquid and them wealthy. Now let us talk about who is on the other side of your rent check. because it is no longer your neighbor who bought a second property. Look at this pie chart. 41% individual landlords, fine. 28% corporate and institutional investors. 18% REITs, real estate investment trusts. 13% private equity firms. That means 59% of rental housing is now owned by corporations and institutions. Private equity firms bought over 700,000 homes in the United States in 2023 alone. Blackstone, one company, owns over $320 billion in real estate globally. And what happens when corporations own your housing? Rent went up 26% in just 3 years between 2021 and 2024. Not because costs went up 26%, because when a corporation owns your home, the goal is not to provide housing. The goal is to maximize returns for shareholders. When corporations own housing, profit comes before people, and rent only goes up. Now let me show you just how badly the middle class has been priced out. This chart shows the income required to afford a home in the top US cities in 2026. The middle class median income is $70,000. That is you. San Francisco, you need $310,000. New York, $280,000. Los Angeles, $245,000. Seattle, $210,000. Miami, $195,000. The middle class can afford homes in exactly 2 cities on this chart, Houston and Phoenix. And those numbers are moving in the wrong direction too. Teachers, nurses, police officers, firefighters, the people who make cities function, cannot afford to live in the cities they serve. This is not a housing crisis. This is a middle-class exclusion policy written in market forces and zoning codes. And that brings us to Lexi, because the legal side of this story is where it gets truly outrageous.
Before I get into how the law built this trap, let me first tell you about the rights you already have as a renter that most people never enforce. Because knowing your rights costs you nothing, and they can save you thousands. Number 1. Your landlord must give you 24 hours written notice before entering your property. In all 50 states. Not a text message, written notice. If they walk in unannounced, that is an illegal entry. Number 2. Your security deposit must be returned within 14 to 30 days of moving out, depending on your state, with a written, itemized list of any deductions. No itemized list? You get the full deposit back. Number 3. Habitable living conditions are not a favor. They are a legal requirement. Heat, plumbing, structural safety. Your landlord must maintain these regardless of what your lease says. A lease cannot override the law. Number 4. You are protected from retaliation. If you report a code violation or organize with other tenants, your landlord cannot legally raise your rent or evict you in response. Number 5. They cannot cut off your utilities as punishment. Shutting off water, heat, or electricity is illegal in every single U.S. state. If it happens to you, that is grounds for significant legal action. And number 6. No eviction without a court order. Ever. If your landlord changes your locks, removes your belongings, or shuts off utilities to force you out, that is an illegal self-help eviction. Document everything and contact legal aid immediately. Most renters never enforce these rights. Landlords count on that. Now, let me show you something that will change how you see the housing crisis forever. People call it a housing shortage. It is not a housing shortage. It is a legally engineered supply restriction. 75% of all residential land in the United States is zoned exclusively for single-family homes. That means it is literally illegal to build apartments, duplexes, or affordable housing on 75% of available land. Not market forces, not economics. The law makes it illegal. Minimum lot size laws force developers to build low-density, keeping supplies scarce and prices high. Height restrictions prevent cities from building upward, the only direction left when land runs out. And parking minimums, requiring 1 to 2 parking spaces per unit, add $30,000 to $50,000 to construction costs per unit. Every penny of that gets passed to you in rent. Now, look at who benefits from these laws. Existing homeowners, whose property values stay artificially high. Banks and lenders, who issue more mortgage debt. Corporate landlords, who face no new competition from affordable housing. And who gets hurt? The middle class, young professionals, essential workers, the people who cannot afford to buy and who are legally prevented from having affordable options built near them. Zoning is not urban planning. It is a legal mechanism to protect wealth, at your expense.
Now here is what Lexi and I want you to take away from all of this. Yes, the system is stacked against the middle class. Yes, the law has been used to restrict your options. But there are strategies right now, legal, proven, and available to anyone, to build wealth even inside this system. Strategy 1. House hacking. Buy a duplex or multi-unit property. Live in one unit. Rent out the others. Let your tenants pay your mortgage. Your effective housing cost drops to almost zero while you build equity at the same time. Strategy 2. REITs. You cannot afford to buy an apartment building, but you can buy a share of one from $10. Real estate investment trusts own massive property portfolios and pay dividends to shareholders quarterly. Average REIT dividend yield, 4.5% annually. You can own real estate without buying a single property. Strategy 3. Invest the difference. If renting is $400 a month cheaper than buying in your city, do not spend that $400. Invest it. $400 a month in a low-cost index fund at 8% average return grows to $600,000 over 30 years. You did not buy a house, but you built $600,000 in wealth anyway. Strategy 4. Geographic arbitrage. Work remotely. Move to a lower-cost city. Save the difference between your old rent and your new rent. Build your down payment. Come back when you are ready. The system wants you to feel trapped. These strategies prove you are not. So let us end with 3 things you can do this week. Not next year. This week. Action 1. Calculate your rent-to-income ratio. Take your monthly rent. Divide by your monthly take-home pay. If the result is above 30%, you are in the financial danger zone. Use the clause and coin guide in the description to run your exact numbers. Action 2. Know your tenant rights in your state. Right now. Tonight. Search your state name plus tenant rights 2026. Write down the notice period before entry. Know your security deposit return timeline. Screenshot it and save it. You will need it one day, and you will be glad you have it. Action 3. Start investing the difference today. Open a free brokerage account. Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab all work. Find the number that renting saves you versus buying in your city. Automate that amount into a low-cost index fund every month. Set it. Do not touch it. Let the same compounding weapon banks use against you work in your favor instead. The system is not going to change overnight, but you now know how it works, and that changes everything. On Clause and Coin, I cover the money side, Lexi covers the legal side, and together we break down the things you were never taught but absolutely needed to know. If this video gave you even one thing you did not know before, subscribe. Because next week, we are covering something that affects every single person who has ever paid for a degree. Why your qualification is losing value while educational debt hits record highs. See you then.